Hello, good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here, and today I'm bringing you guys my unique commander buying guide. This is something that I've been asked quite a bit on stream and in the comment section, especially recently, so we're going to go ahead and go through, well, we're not going to go through each commander in too much detail. I'm going to talk a little bit about each commander, of course, but we're not going to dive into them. This isn't a review of the commanders. This is just the order that I would suggest you get them in, and it is very, very, very dependent upon, first off, what ships you have, and second off, your play style. But we're going to go ahead, touch on each one a little bit, and then tell you guys which ones I think you should get first. So we'll start with the order in which I got my unique commanders. So first off the bat is Isoroko Yamamoto. So he can be obtained in a series of combat missions, and essentially he is free. You just have to put in a little bit of time into grinding the missions to get him. And he is one of the most powerful, unique commanders you can get. However, his unique talents are a bit challenging to pull off, but they are also highly rewarding. So, first off, his best talent is called Second Wind. What happens here is that when you achieve Kraken Unleashed, you get a super heal, and this heal can recover roughly half of your ship's health in one go. That's a darn good heal. In addition to that, if you're on a CV, you get a 16% boost to the restoration time of your squadrons, and if you're on a surface ship, you get a 34% boost to the main battery reload time of your guns. That's mental. And you get a 16% boost to your torpedo tube's reload time if you're in a DD or a ship equipped with torpedoes. So, for instance, you can get, I believe, an 18-second reload time on Yamamoto with Yamamoto if you pull off a Kraken Unleashed. Needless to say, this is, of course, one that's pretty tricky to pull off, but boy, does it pay off. He also has an emergency reserve talent, where when you get First Blood, you get one free consumable. So, again, for like the Yamato, you get another heal, another spotter plane, just one more of whatever you already have on your ship. And that is it for his talents. Now, his improved skills, his preventive maintenance gives you a 45% reduction to the risk of your models becoming incapacitated, and his Grease the Gears or MLG turret skill gives you a 25% boost to your turret rotation time, which is a nice pickup if you're putting him on the Yamato. Alright, next up we have Bull Halsey, who I constantly throw around my Missouri and Iowa and Puerto Rico. Now, he too can be obtained through a series of combat missions, so he is a free, unique commander too. And his talents are, he gets the Implacable talent, where when you get Confederate, it speeds up the reloading time of the ship's armament and aircraft servicing, so you get a 20% boost to the restoration time of your squadrons, and a 20% boost to the reload time of your main battery guns, and a 10% boost to your torpedo tube's reload time, so a pretty nice talent there too. Now, this one isn't as hard to activate as Yamamoto's first talent, but it isn't as good. But I mean, a 20% boost to your main battery reload time is pretty nice in whatever ship you're in. And then he gets the Untraceable talent, where once you get the double strike achievement, your detection range on your ship is lowered. And that's it for his unique talents. Now, his improved skills, he has an improved gun feeder skill, where it only takes 75% it reduces the time it takes to switch between shell types by 75%, and he also has an improved Grease the Gears skill, where just like Yamamoto, you get a 25% boost to your main battery traverse time. Alright, next up we have Lucien's, my man. So Lucien's gets he gets a lot of skills. So he gets the main battery loader talent, where once you get 140 hits with your main battery guns, your reload time on your main battery guns is reduced by 7.5%. He also has a secondary battery loader talent, where once you get 100 secondary hits, your secondary battery reload time is reduced by 15%. He also gets the aerial equipment expert, where once you hit a ship 30 times with any aircraft armament, the restoration time of your squadron is reduced by 30%. And then he also gets the Resilient talent, where once you get 3 spotting ribbons, you get a bit of a mini heal that lasts for a certain amount of time based upon the ship's tier, and it is 300 hit points per second based upon your tier. His improved skills are the preventive maintenance skill. He gets a 45% reduction in the chance of your modules being incapacitated, and he gets another improved grease the gear skill where it is a 25% boost to the rotation time of your main battery guns. Then we, of course, have the man, the myth, the legend himself, Kutztensov. For his talents, he gets the Will to Victory talent, where once your ship goes below 10% of your health points, you get a free damage con and a heal. The heal is 0.25% of your ship's HP for 30 seconds, and the dispersion of shells fired at you goes up by 20%, and you get a free damage con as well, and it is active for 30 seconds, the increased dispersion of the shells being fired at you. He also gets the Emergency Reserve talent, where once you get First Blood, you get an additional consumable. That's it for his talents. But yeah, those two skills are incredibly powerful on Kuznetsov, especially on the Soviet battleships. Now, these next two, I actually don't have them yet. I'm working on getting them, but for the moment, I do not have them in my port just yet. Alright, so we have Felipe Abunon. So, his talents are the Fire and Fury talent. And with this, each key area that you have captured or assisted in captured increases the chance of setting an enemy on fire with main battery shells. This can be activated multiple times in battle. So for each area you capture, your chance of fire goes up by 1%. He also has a Surge Forward talent, which can also be activated multiple times during battle. So for every 2 million HP of potential damage received, your ship's maximum speed is increased by 8%. He also has the Rampant skill, where each death strike you get speeds up the reload time of the ship's main armament by 5% for both torpedoes and guns. His enhanced skills, he gets an enhanced survivability expert for both carriers and ships. For the carriers, you get 30 more hit points per tier. For the ships, you get 400 hit points more per tier. And he is available for coal right now in the armory. Oh, and so is Kuznetsov and Lucien. I forgot to mention that. I believe they are all 175,000 coal and come with 10 commander points each. Alright, for Cunningham, who is of course British, and Abunon is of course French. Alright, he gets the Equipment Spoils talent, where once you destroy 2 ships, you get additional charges for your consumables, but it does not apply to aircraft carriers, and this can only be activated once per battle. He gets the Lightning Fast skill, which can only be activated once per battle. So, when you cause 2 instances of flooding to enemy ships, it increases the speed of your ship and aircraft squadrons by 5% for both. He also gets the Ruthless skill, which once again can only be activated once per battle. So once you get Witherer, your main battery reload time, your restoration time of squadrons, and your torpedo tubes reload time all get decreased by 10%. If you got Thunderer, this is the man to put on him. So his enhanced skills. For aircraft carriers, he gets the enhanced aircraft armor skill, where it reduces the amount of AA damage you take by 11.5%. He also gets the enhanced consumable specialist skill, and this is dependent upon class, but actually no, it's not dependent upon class. Basically everything gets reduced by 12.5%. So the time it takes you to recharge those consumables goes down by 12.5% for all your consumables. Alright, and that is all of the unique commanders. So, what order should you buy these boys in? Well, quite simply, what do you like to play? Most of these guys are very good on 1 or 2 ship classes. Abunon's great for French DDs. Cunningham's pretty good for both British battleships and British cruisers, especially with the Witherer achievement being what's needed to activate his talents. Now, British DDs, they mostly do their damage through AP because they have that fantastic British DD AP, so he's not that great on there. But, I mean, carriers too, of course, with their HE bombs. The whole British line just loves to burn the world. Now, Yamamoto, he's good on battleships, cruisers, or destroyers. But, of course, his skills are a little bit more challenging to activate because you need to get Kraken to activate his big boy skill. Halsey. Halsey's good on battleships, especially for that 75% boost to the reloading time. I'm sorry, to the switching time between your shells, and his Confederate achievement being what's needed to trigger his reduced reload time. But he's also very good on large cruisers like the Alaska and the Puerto Rico. So if you have those, I would recommend getting Halsey for that. However, there are two commanders that I do think you should prioritize getting above the rest, especially if you play a lot of their nation. And that is, of course, Lucien and Kuznetsov. Kutztensov is just good because he makes the survivability of the Soviet battleships go through the roof. And they're already through the roof, so I guess this could be considered going through the stratosphere with his Will to Victory talent, which honestly works on any class in the Soviet nation. I mean, that's just a good skill to have on anything. Basically getting a free heal, a free damage con, and the dispersion of the shells being fired at you gets increased by 20%, gives you more than enough time to get out of that situation that you're in and go and hide. And of course his emergency reserve talents too is great to get. But for me, of course, Lucien's, if I didn't have any unique commanders right now, Lucien's would of course be the commander I would get. Lucien's is fantastic on literally every class, and I cannot overstress this enough. All of his talents are easy to pop on just about every class in the German tech tree. I mean, 100 secondary hits. You can easily do that in just about any German battleship from tier 5 on up. Easy, easy, easy peasy. His main battery reload talent. You could pull it off in German battleships, but I mean, maybe. If the game goes for a little while, you could. But you also have to land 140 hits in German battleships, which isn't impossible. I've gotten there many times, but with today's matches, not so much. But on German cruisers and destroyers, no problem. Especially on the new German DDs. This talent helps the Felix Schultz out so much now with that longer reload time because it has 150mm guns. So on the new German DD line, this man is a godsend. And then his aerial equipment expert just got to hit 30 things with any armament on aircraft. No problem. Then you get a boost to the reload time, to the restoration time of your aircraft. And the resilient, 3 spotting ribbons. DDs, easy done. Cruisers, easy done. Battleships, I get this all the time on accident. it's hilarious when it pops, but it really isn't that much on battleships that heal. But on destroyers, especially the new line, which do not, at the moment, have heals on the higher tier DDs, well, on any of the DDs, this, again, is an absolute godsend. So, Lucien's right now, if you have a decent amount of German ships, stop what you're doing and get Lucien's. It's 175,000 coal. It's a big investment, but this man is a huge help to you. And just like with Lucien's, if you have a lot of Soviet ships, get Kuznetsov first. And the thing is, too, with Yamamoto and Halsey, both of those guys are available via combat missions. So you don't have to spend coal to get them. You just have to grind through the missions. And you can regrind missions, too, in that line to get your stars needed to advance to the next set of missions. So conversely, if you have a lot of British battleships and cruisers, get Cunningham first. If you like your French DDs, get Abunon. It's really up to what you have and how much you like playing it. Other than that, I mean, the two, Yamamoto and Halsey, I would grind those guys on the side while you're enjoying your new commander in whatever it is that you're playing, be it German battleships with Lucien's, be it British heavy cruisers with Cunningham. Just grind those guys on the side. They're free. They're good commanders, but they are some of the earlier commanders, so their talents kind of, well, not really pale in comparison. They're much more difficult to trigger than the newer commanders' talents. But either way, make sure you just go with whatever it is you like doing first. Whatever ships you have a lot of first, you'll get the most out of that commander. Especially if you have a good amount of premiums in that tech tree. Because Lucien's, I mean, I throw him around from Kurfürst to the Siegfried to the Schultz right now, to the Aguirre, to the Richthofen, to the Graf Zeppelin. And because most of those are premium ships, you don't have to pay to retrain them. So that's another thing you should probably take into account too when you're thinking about which unique commander to get first. So that's my suggestion to you guys. To wrap up here, just go with whatever nation you have a decent amount of ships in that you enjoy playing. That way you can get these commanders that boost your ship's performance up even higher. That's my suggestion to you guys. And a lot of these commanders, they are a pretty heavy investment. 175,000 coal. That's a lot of coal. I mean, that's almost a tier 9 premium ship right there. So that's why I say if you got a lot of ships already and really enjoy playing them, then that's when to invest. But if you don't have a lot of ships yet, like if you don't have the Pomeran yet, definitely get the Pomeran first, then get Lucians. That way you can boost the Pomeran even further. So that's what I suggest you guys do in those situations when you're thinking about, should I get the ship first or should I get the commander first? Get the ship first, then get the commander, because the ships get pulled all the time. The commanders, it doesn't look like they're pulling them anytime soon. I mean, shoot, Yamamoto is still available to grind through his missions, so that's what I suggest to you guys. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Let me know what commanders you've already grinded and how you've done with them so far. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. We're on our way now to 25,000 subs, just past 24,300 a few days ago. I cannot thank you guys enough for that. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope to see you guys in the next one.